Hello and welcome back to another Talking To episode. I'm your host Teddy, and today I'm being joined once again by
Hayden.
And today we're going to talk about the TMNT 2003 Season 2 Episode 19, Rogue in the House Part 1. So what do you think about this episode briefly?
To be honest, I don't know if I can explain it briefly. This episode was just so chaotic in parts, I really couldn't understand what I was actually seeing. And I know I say this quite often, but this is quite a chaotic episode.
Yeah, I have to say, from what I remembered from this episode, I remember from past viewing experiences, I remember this episode being like a very quick one that rushed through things and was just more on the boring side to lead up to an exciting second part. But I must admit, watching this episode again now, I would say that I did view this episode quite differently, and I really did enjoy this episode a lot more than what I was expecting to. And I did find this episode to actually be feeling quite long, but in a really good way, and feels like a lot of things are really fleshed out and explored, and set up to a really exciting second episode. And I'm quite surprised by that because I was expecting it to be the same sort of viewing experience, but it changed quite a bit. So yeah. Okay, so for the first bit, we do get see Sherelle. He comes out of his status pod with all the worms coming off of him, and Karai putting him into his new suit. Anything to say about that bit there?
To be honest, not really. We already saw Krang beforehand.
Sherelle.
Sherelle, yes, thank you. We already saw Sherelle in the previous episodes, but he's now rejuvenated, he's regenerated, so I guess that's kind of cool, but it's not as crazy as what the other scenes are coming up for. That's where I have a lot to say.
Yeah, I'd say that this was just like a nice getting things back into how things were. What do you think about Shredder's new design for his new suit?
To be honest, I didn't really pick up on Shredder's new design. I just thought it was the traditional Shredder suit that he's always been wearing.
Well, the main difference was just the chest area because of Sherelle's bit where it entered into the body. That bit, last time it was fully covered up in armor. This time it was more like an open door thing. I mean, I don't think it's too much of a big difference, and I do think that also I think the colours changed for his suit as well. I mean, I don't think it necessarily changed anything about his character, but I do feel like it was a little bit of a downgrade compared to his first suit, where it looked really cool, menacing. This one, it has that same sort of threat, or the atmosphere and all that kind of stuff, but I think something about seeing the door where Shredder came out, it just loses the whole idea of Shredder's in he's invincible and that kind of stuff. Now it's just just go straight for the chest. But yeah, after that we do get to see Hun. He comes in, and that's where we go into everything crazy about this episode. One thing which I would like to say is a little bit weird is Han goes, oh yes, we know we lost a lot of people and that kind of stuff. We make up in strength and loyalty. Considering that he was fighting against the Foot, is this really the best? Was he really the best example or best person to be saying that? I know that he was doing all that stuff for the Shredder, but he was still fighting the Foot.
Yeah, I think he's been a bit of a hypocrite there. We're loyal, but even though I was still fighting your people, so it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, and then we do get to see Baxter Stockman in a brand new situations, shall we say, where he's just a brain in the jar with an eyeball, and he could somehow speak. Oh my god. I'm gonna let you start with this.
Well, where do I start? I was not expecting Baxter Stockman back so soon, and I wasn't expecting him to be a brain in a jar. An actual brain suspended in a jar. I'm just speechless at this point. It's Baxter Stockman, a brain in a jar. It's literally... it's a brain in a jar. I cannot say anything else because literally I didn't believe it at first. I'm thinking that can't be Baxter Stockman. That can't be. Who in their right mind would rip out his brain and put it in a jar? But lo and behold, it's true. It's Baxter Stockman. His body was ripped limb from limb, and now he's in a jar. He's a brain in a jar. It's Stockman in a jar, and it was just really, really weird. I was like, oh my gosh, they actually went there. The producers said, yeah, this is fine. We can just put him in a jar. That's fine. There's nothing weird about that. There's nothing weird at all. And I'm thinking, how do they get past like the review board? It's like, we're gonna put Baxter Stockman, like we're gonna rip him from limb to limb, and we're gonna put his brain in a jar with an eyeball. We're gonna make it all like sci-fi and futuristic, and it's gonna be gross-ish. Like, we're gonna put him in a jar. People are gonna love it. What do you think? And they said yes. Like, actually, someone said yes to this sort of stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, I think it's cool, but we have to remember this is dedicated towards children, kids, at the end of the day. And I don't know, maybe some people like it, some people don't, but it was just really weird how that just appeared out of nowhere. No warning, no nothing. Baxter in a jar. Like, that's all I can say. Like, all I can say is that I'm very shocked that this happened.
Well, I think that it's so weird because I think that I'd say that it does get worse for Baxter. Yeah,
how
somehow.
Can it get worse for Baxter? He cannot go any lower than this.
Well, there's an episode like season 4 where he's able to actually find out to get his body back, but then he has a mental breakdown and his whole body turns into like a Frankenstein thing. And his jaw comes off. It's a very disturbing episode. It somehow gets worse.
What?
Yeah, I mean, I'd just say for a design thing, it's very creative and very unique. That might be the best way to describe it. It's but yeah, and I'm still wondering how it did get past censors because it is just such so out there. But I think that because it's just a brain with some tentacles and all that kind of stuff, I don't think it's as bad as what it could have been and all that kind of stuff. Where it's not overly gross or realistic or anything like that. They do play it very safe, but at the same time, it is still not really something which I would allow like kids to watch or anything. It's just so horrific, but it's still cool.
Who actually approved all of this?
Like 4 kids, and they are the ones who are notorious for dubbing over like anime stuff and censoring stuff, like because and they did one. I think you might know this one, but there's one show where like there's holding guns up, and they edit it out so there's pointing fingers. They did like so many changes to anime and dubs and all that kind of stuff to make it more kid friendly. And then they had this show where it was just
it went full out.
Yeah, balls to the walls, just gore, slicing people, typical turtle stuff. Why not?
Yeah, they certainly went there. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I must admit it's cool to see them able to push like boundaries, and I think that this is something which Tell's done like a really good job at, like trying to like always pushing boundaries to create new and exciting new stuff, which I think is really great. But I feel like this show definitely did overstep a little bit, but I feel like that's only because they were even though they're creating a show for kids, they had like adults and teens in mind, which you could definitely feel that way. And I feel like had they not had those restrictions, they would have gone a lot further, which I'm glad there was like restrictions in place, but like there should have been a lot more.
Yeah, absolutely.
But after that, we do get to see. Also another thing with Baxter, they electrocute him like in water.
Oh yeah, that's another thing.
He should be dead.
What is like? Not only that, the fact that Baxter's now in a jar, he's now being electrocuted. He's being tortured, and he's being used against his own will. Like, this is some messed up stuff. Like, really messed up stuff.
Yeah, it's sure to move on because I feel like this is like far too depressing for us to talk about.
Yeah, this is like very deep. Like, This is
Yeah.
deep. Like, I know this is Turtles, but this is really deep.
Yep. Well, okay. So after that, we do get to see Han. He shows off some of the new robots. We've got and some of them are supposed to be representing the president at the time, and also the prime minister of the UK. It's cool that they're getting some representation. I think that's the only UK thing they ever mentioned Turtles. I think I'm not, or there might be one other thing, but. This is the on-screen, I think it's the only on-screen thing they talk about for the UK, so... a faceless Prime Minister, great.
Wow.
But yeah, so we do get to see a robot Splinter. What do you think about the robot Splinter?
Robo Splinter, to be honest, it was kind of cool, because we had this, sort of, Freaky Friday situation, we didn't know who was who, and all that. And it was cool to see Splinter, a Robo Splinter, but of course it got very confusing at first. When we first got introduced to Robo Splinter, we thought it was the actual Splinter who was in trouble. And then when we saw the real Splinter, we were like, hold on a minute, what's going on here? There are two Splinters, how can this be? But of course then we found out one is the Robo Splinter and then one is the actual real Splinter. But yeah, Robo Splinter was pretty cool. Seeing Robo Splinter and just seeing how far the Shredder is willing to go and how much technology they have behind them now, and to see that they could replace anyone. Imagine if it was one of the Turtles that they replaced. The Turtles...
Oh, wasn't it?
Yeah, why wasn't it? But that would have been cool. But it was really cool to see Robo Splinter and seeing how he fights with the Utron technology flowing through him. It was a pretty cool fight scene, to say the least.
Yeah, and I'd say that with also going off of the presidents and that kind of stuff, there's something which we did talk about in 2012 with the invasion from season 2, and we got to see some of the police were Krang. I feel like this would have been a really good stepping off point to do something like secret invasion where and sort of who do you trust and all that kind of stuff. I feel like there would definitely been some really cool elements to really implement here with maybe some police or the prime minister or president or anything along those kind of lines, where and it becomes something along like a secret invasion or something like that. I felt that they could have definitely pulled that off in this kind of show, and it's annoying that they don't ever think about that or ever attempt to do something like that. But it's decent enough. But I feel like there was definitely elements there that they could have done a lot more with, or even keep up the whole illusion of Splinter being a robot for a lot longer, and even having the real Splinter being captured by a Shredder. I thought definitely elements there which they could have made a lot more interesting story elements and even more shock value stuff than what they did do. But it is what it is. What we did get to see. But after that, we do get to see the Turtles. They're on their horrible sledge things, snowmobile things, whatever they are called, and they come across Zog. He's a Triceratops that escaped from the episode 6. So, was you expecting Zog to show up in this episode?
No, not really. I wasn't expecting anything like this to show up. To be honest, I was curious on what the time period was for this episode. Did it happen straight after, or did it happen a few days after, or a few days before? It was very weird, because trying to figure out what really was going on in that scene, and just trying to figure out what episode this comes into, was very confusing. But seeing Zod there was pretty cool, because it's a Triceratops at the end of the day, and you think, oh my god, the Triceratops, they're invading again, and it's not. It's just one rogue soldier who got lost. And of course we saw that in the previous episode where the Utron and everyone else was fighting, and then the facility got blown up and so forth. But yeah, no, really cool to see Zod. Zod, oh god.
Z-O-G.
Zog, there we go. Kept calling him Zod. Zog, there we go. It was really cool, because having Zog around is like having a sledgehammer. He's a cool character, but of course he's delusional, because he is breathing in Earth's atmosphere. He can't breathe Earth's atmosphere, and he can't breathe properly. So he's becoming all delusional. And at first, I thought he was going to attack the Turtles because he was gunning straight for them. But then, of course, he then smashes one of the sledge-mobiles or turtle-mobiles. I forgot the name of it. Apologies. But I was thinking, why is he? It's not Federation, but of course, then we realise he's delusional and he can't breathe the atmosphere. But having Zod around is pretty cool, and he's now like their own personal bodyguard. Like, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, yes, okay, yeah. So I'd say like with Zog, I think that because I've seen the episode quite a few times, I don't really have too much of an opinion on it. It's just like one of those kind of things I was just there. It's cool to see it happen and stuff from the comics and that kind of stuff. I don't really have too much to really say about it. It's just cool to see all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's all I really got to say about it. But after that, we do get to see Master Splinter. He comes in and he asks for some help with taking down an intruder. And we do get to see the real Master Splinter show up. Which, first of all, how did he know to be there? I just find that to be so weird. How he showed up and like, oh yes, there's an intruder, we need to stop him. Oh wait, he's there. That...
Yeah, that's what threw me off in the first place. That the Splinter who was injured, I thought that was the real Master Splinter, because how did the real Master Splinter know where to find the Turtles? Like, that's what threw me off at the first place. I thought that was the villain. I thought that was the bad guy. I thought that was the bad Splinter.
Yeah, I mean, it's just annoying just because the real Master Splinter shows up and is just like, oh yes, my son, stop, that's intruder. But I think it would have been a lot better had it actually gone down in Lair, because I think that would have made a lot more sense other than just, oh, Splinter shows up, oh, what a coincidence, now they're fighting. There's a little like, oh, what a coincidence kind of situation, and it's so annoying because I have to say that this is the only downside to this episode. If it wasn't for this bit, it would honestly be one of the better episodes from the season, but just this one little bit here and it pisses me off so much. But we do get to see a pretty cool fight between the two Splinters, and even Zog comes in and just rips him apart. What about that fight bit there?
To be honest, it was pretty cool to see Splinter and Splinter go up against one another, and just to see how much power Robo Splinter has, because it's Utron technology at the end of the day, and of course the Utron technology is highly more advanced than anything that Donnie could whip up. So it was pretty cool to see the sheer power of the Robo Splinter. And I don't think, without Zod, I don't think Splinter could have survived that. Like, maybe they would have been badly injured, but I don't think they would have came off scot-free, with Robo Splinter. So I'm glad that Zod was there, and of course Zod is like a sledgehammer at the end of the day. Like, he just comes in and just rips him to shreds. Like, I mean, he proper does Batman and oh gosh, just trying to remember.
Superman?
Not Batman, Superman. Batman and oh gosh, the fight scene. Not Zod. Not Zod. Oh gosh.
Doomsday? Bane?
Bane, that's the one. I was gonna say Zane for a sec there. That was like, God, Bane, Zane, and then it was Bane. So it's like basically what I was trying to say was Zod came in like Batman and Bane. Like, literally, Zod is Bane and the Robo Splinter is Batman. Basically, Bane brings up Batman and then smashes his back across his knee. That is literally what Zod did. That is what I'm trying to say. That's what Zod just straight up did to Robo Splinter.
You have to say that with this fight, it was like really cool to see like two different Splinters going at it with one another, and I think like one weird part was like, because when the two like circling around in the water, and the robot Splinter has red eyes, Russ like, oh yes, but which one do we fight? What do you mean? The one with the red eyes is clearly Robot Splinter, and he's still like, what one?
Yeah, no, that was pretty dumb of them to say. So, oh my god, which one do I shoot? Is like, clearly the one with the red glowing eyes. Like, surely that is obvious.
Yeah, and then when Han told him to like turn the power up to like full max, and you get to see Spencer like punch a wall, and he goes in quite a bit, and when he goes on to fight all the others, I do feel like this bit here was a little, like the power scaling was a little bit all over the place, just because even though he's about to punch a hole in the wall, all the characters weren't really hurt that badly, because he's able to like punch through stuff, and he's metal and that kind of stuff. So like all the punches would hurt, but he's just because when he's punching Mikey, he's doing like punches to like his arms and his chest or like, sides and all that kind of stuff. But Mikey's not really like he's not really beating or anything. He's just standing, just taking it. It doesn't really feel like the power's all over the place. But and then when Zod comes in, that just amazing. Just smashes them all up. For my favourite bit is like shows like, whoa, what happened? Like, did you not see through the screen that he was absolutely annihilated? There was no what happened about it.
Yeah, like, why you question it? You saw it with your own eyes. A giant Triceratops just demolished your robot. So there's no why or how. An alien from outer space came in and wrecked your robots. There's nothing to say.
Yeah. And then Donnie he decides to take the robot apart. He finds out that there's a neutron thing, and this is like another stupid part. He decides to go all the way home to get his little device, and then come all the way back to the gang to then go off to the docks. Why didn't they all just follow Don? They could have saved a lot of time, because like Don saying, "Oh, yeah, to stay here, guys. I'm gonna go off and go get the thing." Wouldn't it make more sense to all of them follow, just so that way, as soon as Donnie has it, he can go after it?
Yeah, good point.
And then even when he has his device to find the thing, it's the same one which I use track down the Guardian, which is just a green dot on the screen, not really pointing out like where to go or anything. How was they able to find the docks from that? It
don't make sense, but
No.
I think the sense in why Donnie left them there was so that the Triceratops didn't know where the layer was.
They could have put him outside. How was he gonna go home anyway? Like, like, he was gonna die anyway with the oxygen and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, now that you think of it that way, but it's a bit more grim.
Well, I mean, he's gonna die anyway. They're all gonna die eventually, so.
Jesus. Really?
Okay, moving on.
Yeah, moving on.
So after that, we do get to see the turtles. They're at the dock, and we do get to see Raph, Leo, and Splinter. They take out a few guards. I thought that was quite good to actually see them doing the ninja stuff and actually sneaking around and being actual ninjas. That was cool. Anything to say about that?
Yeah, no, I don't really have much to say about it either, except they were just sneaking around like ninjas. Except for Zod, he was just like a giant target waiting to happen, and I'm surprised no one questioned why there's a giant dinosaur with space like armor walking around the docks. Is anyone going to pick up on that? It's like,
Yeah.
like no guards are saying, what's that orange thing looking like a dinosaur with armor on? Are we going to report that in? It's like, nah, too much paperwork, just let it be.
Well, why would the put their whole emblem on the boat? I find that stupid as well. Like, you're trying to be a secret ninja operation, and just go around being like, yes, this is property of the foot.
Good branding, I guess.
They're supposed to be secret, and just got casually just put branding. Like what sort of? I mean, I don't. No. If anything, how can I justify it? They're supposed to be secret. Not supposed to be marketing. Come join us or anything.
Yeah, good point. It's like the T.I. Joe sort of thing, like Cobra. Like Cobra is supposed to be this somewhat secret organization, but they brand everything with their logo. Like their soldiers, their troops, their cargo, their weapons, their tanks. Everything is Cobra marketed. And I'm guessing they're doing something similar with the foot, I guess. Like, good publicity and good brandings. Like, they definitely know who people are,
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I also have to say with Leo's plan, which was a very stupid one, he wants to send out the boat to sea and blow up everyone on board.
That's one way of doing it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, well, hang on, you were just complaining a few seconds ago. I was saying about everyone dying and all that kind of stuff. Now you're saying, well, yeah, there's one way to go.
Yeah, but it's the foot. It's
That's not the point.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, getting back to the actual main bit. We get to see Leo, Raph, and Splinter there in the main bit, and the Foot Elite come in, and Han's there. Outside, we've got the Foot showing Zog and Mikey. Anything to say about those bits?
No, just it was like really funny. It's like, Mikey, you look after Zod. Donnie, you look after Mikey. Like, they don't trust Mikey, let alone Zod.
Or would you?
Yeah, good point.
But yeah, so what do you think about this episode, like overall?
Hold on a minute, aren't we missing something?
Are we?
Yeah, when Splinter, Leo get cornered by the Foot Elite with Han.
Yes, yeah. I was talking about that bit there.
Oh, right.
It's just just because it's like, they all come in, but it's not very much really there. Like.
Oh, okay then, that's fine. Yeah.
Unless you've got anything to say about it.
To be honest, not really. No, it's just like, oh, they got cornered by Han and the Foot Elite. But I don't know why the Foot Elite smashed in their own windows just to get into the control room. Like, they're gonna have to fix that.
Yeah, and just imagine if like went through the like wrong window.
Like, oh crap, this is the wrong place. This is the wrong boat.
Yeah, there are so many like other ways they could have gone around this. Also, like, how did they know that Han was there? They were and possibly would have had heard a door open or something like that.
Or Han.
But yeah, and he sneaks up on Master Splinter. Are we sure Shredder should be in charge?
You mean Splinter?
Yeah, I mean, how was Han able to sneak up on Splinter and be like, "Oh yes, I'm here," without Splinter knowing? Han should be in charge.
Yeah, to be honest, Han is pretty sneaky. Even though he's the biggest character in the entire series, how can you not miss him?
Yeah. But yeah, so what do you think about this episode overall?
Overall, I thought this was a pretty cool one. And of course, this is part 1 of, I'm guessing, 3, right?
2.
2, my bad.
Close enough.
Yep, close enough. But yeah, no, so hopefully next episode is going to be a bit more interesting and seeing what goes down. But yeah, no, I really...
It's an action-packed episode.
Awesome. That's what I like to hear. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed this episode. It was a bit more crazier than I was expecting, and I can't believe they went there and put Baxter Stockman in a jar. Just floating, just a brain and an eyeball, like, they went there and back twice.
I mean, yeah, why not? But yeah, I'd say like overall for me, I enjoyed this episode a lot more than what I did remember this episode, and I feel like this episode was I'd say, like, looking back on this episode now, it's a really great episode just to like set things up and also feel like a good, decent episode for being a standalone kind of thing. Not necessarily as a standalone kind of thing, but I feel like with like most like 2-part or any multi-part episode, they can really feel like really dragging out the setup for the for like the final part and anything like that. But with this one, it really didn't feel like that way, and I was quite surprised by that. And I really did enjoy this episode. There's a lot of elements which I did enjoy, but I do enjoy the setup, and I'm really looking forward to talking about next week's episode because of some of the stuff that happens in that one, which, oh boy, it's going to be interesting to see your reaction to it. Okay, so you don't hear some trivia for this episode?
Let's hear it.
The Shredder has a new armor in this episode.
Oh wow! Such
No shit,
trivia.
Sherlock.
Yeah, like wow, some new armor. Wow, it's kind of obvious.
Yeah, Blackstoneman has a new appearance in this episode. He now
yeah.
a brain in a jar and an eyeball in a jar. His new look may be a reference to Kane from RoboCop 2. You're really pulling out straws here, but...
Yeah, they are proper pulling the cat out of the bag.
The Triceratops that escaped back in Secret Origins Part 1 reappears in this episode. His name is Zog, and his oxygen on Earth is causing him to hallucinate and believe that Turtles and Splinter are Triceratron commanders.
They are really struggling here.
Yep. The foot gun, and robots which I created, the foot ones, from 2003 video games, make a debut as the foot mechs in this episode. Finally, some trivia!
Yeah, that's trivial information. Start with that.
Footage from this episode of Shrel and Karai will be used in a brief flashback in season 7, where the art style completely changed, so you know, like, the scenes don't match up whatsoever.
Oh, great.
So yeah, that's all the trivia. Half of it I would not even call trivia, but
yeah, no.
Okay, so for the cast, major characters, and this is going to surprise you who's in the major characters. Donatello voiced by Sam Riegel, Leonardo voiced by Michael St. Nicholas, Michelangelo voiced by Wayne Grayson, Raphael voiced by Greg Abbey, Splinter voiced by Darren Dunstan. Minor characters.
Okay.
The Shredder voiced by Scotty Ray, Hun voiced by Greg Kari, Baxterman voiced by Scott Williams, Zog voiced by Den Zemansley, and Karai voiced by whoever she was voiced by.
Just forget Karai.
But I don't have it on the thing, which is stupid. But she was voiced. What's it? Caranielli. So yeah. But how was like some of those characters like Karai, Han, and Shredder? Like
What about Zod?
Zog, he was a minor character. Like
How?
Shredder, I don't know. But Shredder, Han, and Karai, I would definitely say like major characters. Baxter Stockman, I would say, is a minor character in this episode, but still, some of these characters, like, they are definitely not minor characters whatsoever.
Like, Zod was the reason why the Turtles, like, are in this mess like, they're there in the first place. This is Zod. Like, why is he a minor character? It doesn't make any sense.
Also, looking at other parts on this list they got on here, species, we've got human, mutant rat, mutant turtle, robot, Triceratops, Utrom. Objects and vehicles, Foot Clan Japanese firefighter, shell sled. Locations, Foot Clan Japanese firefighter. Did they forget about the sewers? Did they forget about the docks?
I don't think anyone had an idea when they were writing up this like report for this episode. I don't think they understood what was going on or what was given to them.
Now, yeah, I mean, it's just so stupid, but I mean, if I really cared and if I was getting paid for it, I would change it, but it's not my problem.
Touche.
But also looking at like for next week's episode, like the major characters are still just Turtles and Splinter, but yet like Hun, Karai, and Shredder and Zog, who are like, main characters in next week's episode, they're still under the minor character list.
What?
Yeah, it's so stupid.
Does no one like realise? Does no one go back and check these things?
No, I don't blame them, but still. Okay, so talking about next week's episode is called Rogue in the House Part 2. What do you think we're going to be seeing in that episode?
Well, first of all, I think there's going to be a massive fight between the Foot, Shredder, and the Foot Elite and Han. It's going to be two battles on two fronts, one at the docks and one on the command center of the ship. I think we're going to see a lot of action. I think we're going to see some of the new mechs being used as well. And I think we're going to see another fight between the Shredder and Splinter. That's what I think.
You are very correct, but I feel like I feel like you're not really giving too much thought into it. Just giving a very brief description of what will definitely be happening.
Yes, because I cannot...
You played it very safe.
I've played it very safe. Yes, I have.
I don't think you should get a point for that.
What?
Played it.
Oh, come on.
You're staying in the office for most of this stuff. And most of the stuff which was pointing out being like, oh yeah, saying I'm going to get a fight for these locations, was stuff that was teased at the very end of the episode. I really don't think we can give you a point there.
Oh, come on.
It's almost like saying, oh yeah, Vitel's going to be in next week's episode. You're using pre-existing information. I don't think it really counts.
I think the ship's going to get blown up. How does that sound?
You are correct. Well done.
Yes. Thank you.
Quarter of a point.
That's something. I can live with that.
Okay, now for your absolute favourite part. Who do you think is going to be starting the episode?
Right. I'm guessing it's one of the turtles?
No.
No. Okay.
Could be any character that appeared in this episode.
Ooh. Let me think. I want to say... Shush. I want to say Splinter, but I don't think it is. It might be... I'm torn between either Karai or Splinter. So, I'm going to go with... Splinter.
Why do you think Splinter?
Because I think Splinter's like very annoyed that the Foot took his likeness, and I think he's very upset by that, as we saw in the episode. And I think he's going to be very upset, and I think he's going to commentate what's going on at the moment.
Is that your final answer?
Oh, God, I'm going to jinx myself, aren't I? Oh, should I switch? You know what? Go in or go home. I'm going to go with Splinter.
You're wrong. It's Zog.
Oh my God.
You're so close.
Why is Zod doing a commentary? Like, we've never... Like, you don't usually get an outsider character who's just come in for one episode to do commentary, you know?
Oh yeah, you do.
When?
Oh, there will be.
That's what I'm saying. This is kind of unfair.
I wouldn't say it's unfair. I'll just say it's... We should know better, Hayden.
Oh, come on, this ain't right. You're saying I don't get a point for like playing it safe, but how am I supposed to guess that it's Zod? Like, how am I supposed to know? He's a different character that we're used to, that I'm used to, and you're just gonna say, "Oh, just guessed." Nah, I won't take that.
What do you mean you won't? You have to. Well, if it does help, the way that he does his introduction bit, you'll like it because it's done as like a command report. So you'll listen like that. But I hate this part.
Well, there's always next week.
Yeah. Well, hang on. Let's see who's doing the voice thing for next week one. You might have a chance. Next one you're gonna get easily. If you're actually smart about it.
Oh God.
It's very obvious, but knowing you'll probably go around all the houses and choose all the wrong characters. But yeah. So are you happy with that?
I'll take it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's sort of have to really. But yeah, do you have anything else to say about this episode, or are you all done with this one?
To be honest, I'm done with this episode. I've pretty much done everything that I need to do. I've really enjoyed this episode. Pretty chaotic episode, to say the least. And Baxter Stockman is now a head in a jar. So, yeah, I live with that now, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say that I enjoyed this episode a lot more than what I was expecting to. But, yeah. So that's going to be another episode of Talking Tables. Oh, no, not God. So, yeah, that's going to be another episode. Oh, damn it.
Use your words.
Yeah, that's going to be another episode of Talking Tables. I've been host Teddy.
And I've been Hayden.
And we'll see you all soon. Goodbye. Yo. Bye.
Bye.